Greetings, welcome to So Much to Talk About here, pregame version of the San Antonio Spurs at the New York Knicks. I had the pleasure to interview this gentleman to my left and your right last year, and once again, welcome back to the Garden, Mr. Antonio McDyess. Pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
The start that this Spurs team has had has been really incredible, and it's back to defense, rebounding, and a great depth of a roster. So how has that really affected the start and really shown that excellence this year?
I think Pops has been doing a great job of managing everyone minutes and not getting them, overworking them. But I think most of all for us, we reverted back to, playing defense. And also, Tony has been pushing the ball up. They having a fast pace more on offense, and everything been working for us lately. And I think since last year, from getting 1 year on our belt with a lot of new faces, that helped us also.
With your long career and everything, and you've had the longevity through your injuries, and what are you sharing with the young guys here to help them get better and help them, know how to take care of their bodies, especially when they have adversity?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with DeJuan Blair, a young player that's got upsides and great talent. I think for him, I kind of just try to share my past history, but also just kind of tell him what he need to do in the gym. Just continue to stay in the gym, continue to eat right, and continue to listen and be humble. I think for him, he's a humble player and want to get better. And, sky's only the limit for him. And I think just letting people know that you can go as far as you want to go if you continue to play hard and do what's right.
Played with three great point guards and Jason Kidd, Nick Van Exel, and Tony Parker. Anyone I'm missing, and talk about the qualities each of those guys had.
Man, they all three bring totally different things. Tony Parker is such a fast guy. It scores so much in the paint. Gets in the paint easy, really quick. They bring that leadership. A lot of them bring that leadership. Like Jason Kidd bring that leadership, toughness, triple-double king, that's what I call him, And Nick, yeah, definitely. I could never miss those when I was jumping out the gym in my days. I love those passes. And, Nick Van Exel, he can do the same passes, but he also there to hit all the big shots. And, those guys, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He quieted them down every time. I love playing with all those guys. Those guys are great point guards. And Tony, the future point guard right now is doing a heck of a job for this team, and hopefully continue, and at the end of the day, hopefully have a ring.
One more question for you. Coach Sanderson, we were talking about him earlier. He's hanging out, lounging. You said he was at a Legends game recently.
We had a Legends game in Alabama like a couple years ago, and he was on the sideline screaming and cursing like we playing for real, like we in the national championship or something. A couple guys well, this not a real game. So he took it really serious, but it was just good to see him back out there trying to do his thing, and it was good. It was great.
I'll never forget that front court with you, Caffey, and Faulkner. Where those cats at now?
Jason Caffey, he moved back to Mobile, Alabama. Jason Faulkner, I'm pretty sure he was up here. He's a New Yorker, yeah. He moved back to New York, but I lost touch with him because he was playing in Poland, and after that I lost kind of contact with him. But Jason Caffey doing well, everything going well. He opened a couple businesses and actually a rec center in Alabama, so he doing well.
Giving back to the kids, and giving them that outlet,
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Once you bless, you need to bless others, and I think, you never forget where you come from, especially like for Jason. He moved back home and give back, and that's something always great and great positive.
Thank you for your time, and have a wonderful game, and great rest of the season, and keep on doing it. You guys could have that ring for sure.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, considering you played without Gallinari, you beat the team with the best record in the league, and you're about to go on a 4-game road trip. For you personally, was this the most gratifying win of the season?
Well, every win is gratifying. Where we've been the last 2 years. We just had a lot of them. I don't know if this is a good one. We're in a good spot, and we needed this to kick off the road trip, which is going to be very hard. It's the hard part of our schedule. But we had some guys that came in off the bench and played well, I thought, and Wilson Chandler was just outstanding. He was really good. And it worried me a little bit about putting him back to the 3 to see if that changed his game a little bit. It was the last game he didn't have a very good game. He played a lot of 3, but it doesn't matter going. He's just a good player.
Were you surprised with Coach Popovich's decision to bench all this?
More relieved than surprised, but I was just afraid that, we didn't want to also have a psychological letdown. And sometimes it's like, guys, you got to be a little careful. That was a little dangerous. But, Pop's one of the great coaches, and he's got his team playing really well. They were good. And like I said, it's more being relieved than anything else.
Greetings. Welcome to a post-game edition of So Much to Talk About, of the New York Knicks having a huge win over the San Antonio Spurs. My pleasure to have Bill Walker, who had a couple of perimeter shots that set it off in the second quarter, excuse me. So, wow. Talk about, the Chris Ball movement and the shooting. I mean, you guys shot over 55%.
Yeah, it's just something we focus on every day. We make an effort to make sure we have good spacing, make sure we pass the ball on the money, and we definitely get up a lot of shots every day. So it's all a part of our scheme.
You guys made some nice stops in the fourth quarter of the Spurs because, they were trying to stay close and then, of course, run away with it. But you guys didn't let that happen on the defensive end.
Yeah, especially playing a great team like that, you have to be focused on the defensive end. We know we can score points. We can put up an enormous amount of points on any given night, but defense has kind of sort of been our Achilles heel this year. And we wanted to go in and just make a statement against one of the best teams in the league and prove that we can play with anybody.
I know your minutes have been fluctuating throughout the year, so I know you're ready. What are things you're doing to keep yourself ready, just in case for tonight and maybe beyond?
A lot of conditioning every day, just getting in there early, getting a lot of shots up. Running on the treadmill, lifting weights, things like that. Just always staying sharp. Trying to stay as sharp as I can.
Great win. Good luck on a 4-game road trip. A swing. You're going to Phoenix and L.A. and hey, but that's what turned things around when you went to the West before, and they'll even accentuate things now.
Thanks for having me.
Perimeter shooting has just gotten better. How great has it been to be able to nail those shots later in the game?
There's confidence in my teammates, wanting me to take those shots, having the confidence in me for me to take those shots. And then the coaches too, they tell me that, they go up on the screen, take the shot, no matter what. I don't care how many you miss. If they go up on it again, take it again. Just all about confidence, man. It's all about hard work, I'm a type person, I work hard. So take extra shots, do all those things.
Talk more about the West Coast swing, like pretty much the biggest run of the season, you think?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a tough 4 games, but I think if we play the way we play tonight, I think we'll be okay.
Thank you, Ray.
No problem.